Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good morning. It's great to be here. I am so pleased, and it's so exciting what all of you are doing. So it's a real honor for me to be here at the Big M Convergence Conference with engineers, business leaders, investors, all of you who are moving American manufacturing forward. And a special thanks to our hosts, SME, and your current president, Mike Molnar. So I am so pleased to be here because Mike also serves as the Director of Advanced Manufacturing National Program Office at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is an extraordinarily important national resource that is housed at the Department of Commerce. So I am encouraged to see Mike both coordinate policy on the government side and implement it through SME. We need the public and private sectors to work together now, more than ever, to focus our investments on areas with the highest potential for growth. Today, I want to discuss where the Department of Commerce is leading the administration's efforts to support the expansion of manufacturing in America and where we need your help. The Commerce Department serves as the architect for America's manufacturing policy. Although we do not invest as heavily in manufacturing R&D as the Defense Department, the Health and Human Services Department, or the Energy Department, and we're not directly responsible for employment policy or workforce training that manufacturers need, like the labor and the education departments. And we're not the major regulatory role in manufacturing like the EPA or USDA. However, the Commerce Department does play the lead role in ensuring that all of these efforts are coordinated, integrated, and focused on the needs of you, manufacturers. We do this through our leadership role of the White House Office of Manufacturing Policy. Our objective is to break down the silos across the government and encourage meaningful public-private partnerships at every level to move American manufacturing forward. In other words, we're trying to make public-private manufacturing programs and policies work better. So I'd like to outline exactly what that means. The Commerce Department recognizes that to grow our manufacturing base, we must invest in activities like training, R&D, and helping small suppliers be best in class. Government's unique role is to make catalytic investments and convene public-private partnerships. So we have a number of goals, and I want to go through them. First, to ensure that America leads in the discovery, innovation, and production of cutting-edge technologies such as 3D printing, composite materials, and green technologies. Second, to help American communities attract investment that ensure broad prosperity and long-term competitiveness. Third, to advise American manufacturers, especially small and mid-sized firms, on the latest technologies and best-in-class business practices. And fourth, and finally, to insist that employers have a leading voice in federally funded workforce training. While different communities have put some individual components of this approach into play, the Detroit area has brought them all together to create one of the most robust manufacturing centers in the country. Just this morning, the Commerce Department's Economics and Statistics Administration released a new study titled Manufacturing Since the Great Recession. It found that U.S. manufacturing has turned a corner. You all know that. For the first time in over 10 years, both manufacturing output and employment are growing steadily. Since the end of the recession, output has increased 38%, and the manufacturing sector has created more than 640,000 quality jobs. Not surprising, Michigan is one of 5 states that together account for more than half of those jobs. Why? Because Detroit and its surrounding communities have built a manufacturing epicenter that attracts private investment, keeps businesses competitive, and supports good jobs for American workers. As I just mentioned, the Department of Commerce wants to ensure that America leads in the 21st century in the discovery and production of cutting-edge technologies. That is why the Department of Commerce designed a major administration initiative called the National Network for Manufacturing Innovation, NNMI, an exciting public-private partnership model that can strengthen our long-term competitiveness. The concept for NNMI actually came to us from the Advanced Manufacturing Partnership, a presidential advisory board I co-lead, and which just yesterday held its national meeting here at Big M. The basic idea between NNMI is to create what we call innovation ecosystems around the country. These regional centers for industry and academia, from large companies to their smallest suppliers, from major research institutions to community colleges, work together to make breakthrough technological advances that will benefit a region's manufacturing base rather than just a single company. The concept is similar to US investments in Sematech and German investments in the Fraunhofer Institutes. The first NNMI Institute focused on 3D printing. It was announced in 2012 in Youngstown, Ohio, named America Makes. It currently has 94 members in its partnership, including universities, community colleges, and nonprofits, along with a whole host of manufacturers like 3D Systems, a global leader in additive manufacturing, also known as 3D printing. Last month, I met with Avi Reichenthal, the CEO of 3D Systems. He told me about how his grandfather, a cobbler who worked tirelessly to make and repair shoes by hand, and how he now wears a pair of shoes he designed himself and manufactured using 3D printing technology. Avi reflected on how 3D printing is inspiring a new generation of Americans to make things again, to become the next generation of local craftsmen and women. He discussed how that could usher in a new wave of entrepreneurs and mini manufacturing renaissance in every US city. To maintain our global competitiveness, it is absolutely essential that we continue to develop nationwide 3D printing and a host of emerging technologies. And the administration is already hard at work to build on our momentum and expand on our success. So starting in recent months with our announcement to add 3 additional NNMI institutes to drive innovation. One in power electronics located in North Carolina, one in digital manufacturing and design located in Chicago, and right next door in Canton, Michigan, an institute focused on lightweight metals, which will help America make cars become more safe and more energy efficient. President Obama knows that we cannot stop there if America is to lead the world in manufacturing. So he's announced the establishment of 4 additional manufacturing innovation hubs, including one focused on advanced composites. But in order for the NNMI to realize the vision of a national network as conceived by industry, we need Congress to act. With legislation, Commerce can build a true network that allows institutes to collaborate and share best practices. That network will be stronger than multiple institutes acting individually. The good news is there's bipartisan legislation pending in the House and the Senate. The bill enjoys strong support from both parties, and it is imperative that this measure reaches the President's desk this year to ensure that we meet the needs of industry and sustain our global competitive edge in advanced manufacturing. Other countries are making game-changing investments along these lines, and America cannot afford to be left behind. We have to do better and we have to do more. So I encourage you to make your voices heard on this issue and support the expansion of manufacturing institutes across the United States. Our second goal at the Department of Commerce is to help American communities attract more manufacturing investments. America is ranked the #1 place to invest and grow for global business, according to A.T. Kearney's 2013 Business Confidence Index. But capitalizing on the ranking requires businesses to partner with local and federal governments to establish comprehensive plans and support the infrastructure necessary to attract prospective investors. 2 weeks ago, I announced the first dozen manufacturing communities, a multi-agency designation led by the Commerce Department through a new program called the Investing in Manufacturing Communities Partnership, IMCP. The federal designation, awarded after an extensive competition, recognizes communities that should serve as models for the rest of the country because they have a clear strategy to become a magnet for manufacturers, and because they have coordinated efforts in key areas like workforce and training, supplier networks, research and innovation, infrastructure and site development, exporting and access to capital. Recent research shows that communities who make these investments in a coordinated fashion experience higher growth in employment, wages, numbers of establishments, and numbers of patents. Not surprisingly, a consortium from southeastern Michigan, including the cities of Detroit, Flint, Lansing, Ann Arbor, and Pontiac, was named one of the first IMCP manufacturing communities. The public-private partnership they have assembled produces 22% of all vehicles made in America, and at $14 billion a year, accounts for 70% of total U.S. auto research investment. Their IMCP plan is designed to transform their community into a world-class location for developing connected vehicle technologies, allowing cars to communicate with each other and with the road itself. And these cars will be developed in new lightweight materials, including some designed and built at the NNMI just down the road in Canton. The point of IMCP is to incentivize this type of smart, comprehensive, and integrated economic development planning across the country. And this is only the beginning. Soon the administration will launch a second IMCP competition to designate the next round of manufacturing communities. Just as IMCP will help ensure communities are ready for sustainable, long-term manufacturing growth and investment, Select USA will help bring new investors directly to communities across the country. Select USA is the first ever foreign direct investment promotion arm of the federal government. Through Select USA, the Commerce Department serves as an ombudsman for foreign investors who are looking to invest here in the United States. We introduce them to local economic development organizations, and we help them navigate the federal regulatory landscape. This effort is especially important for manufacturing communities, where foreign direct investment is already making a tangible difference to local businesses. Consider what we saw between 2009 and 2013. $330 billion out of $770 billion of foreign direct investment, or 43%, was invested in the manufacturing sector. So Select USA has translated into real progress on the ground right here in Michigan. In 2012, Select USA helped a Canadian-based supplier, AGS Automotive, open new facilities just 45 minutes up the road from here in Sterling Heights. That $21 million investment has already created 90 new jobs and supported 50 existing positions. The Commerce Department's third goal is to help American small and mid-sized manufacturers become even more innovative and productive. So in each state, we co-fund manufacturing extensive partnership centers, like the Michigan Manufacturing Technology Center, where experts and consultants provide practical advice to local manufacturers of all sizes, helping them to transform their business plans, access new technology, and increase exports. If you haven't experienced it, you need to do so. These guys are great. The MEP centers are particularly helpful for companies going through a major change, whether launching a new product, introducing a new process on the factory floor, or facing new competition. Nationally, every federal dollar invested in MEP generates nearly $19 in new sales for our clients. Locally, that often translates directly to new jobs. So for example, Vantage Plastics, located just north of here in Standish, makes products ranging from plastic pallets to kayaks. Last year, the company's leaders came to the MEP Center because they were facing thinner margins, employee cutbacks, and a decrease in sales. The MEP Center helped them develop an 18-month strategic plan to transform their company, and it's working. Vantage Plastics has already seen a 20% increase in sales to new markets. Their profits have risen $127,000, and they're expanding into a new physical plant, and they're on pace to hire 60 more employees. These are the kinds of results that the Department of Commerce wants to see nationally. So I strongly encourage you to reach out and use your local MEP Center. Their experts are here to help you and your peers reach your business goals and objectives, including deploying new technologies, expanding facilities, introducing more efficient processes, increasing exports, or hiring, training, or retraining your workers. Finally, the Commerce Department's fourth goal is to give employers a stronger voice in workforce training so that employees have the exact skills and qualifications that industry needs. To accomplish that, we will break down silos among businesses, colleges, universities, government, labor, and other regional and national institutions. In April, I traveled with the President and the Vice President to Pittsburgh to announce investments in training programs that respond to the skills needs of local employers. So to offer one example, during that visit we announced a $500 million competitive grant program called the TACT Grants. These grants are awarded to community colleges that partner with individual companies and national industry associations to expand job-driven training programs. For the sake of the success of our workers and the prosperity of our economy, we cannot stop with any single set of grants or awards. We must continue investing in stronger, better prepared, well-trained, well-educated workforce. Research shows that 87% of workers who complete apprenticeships get good jobs and will make $300,000 more over their lifetime than their peers. That's why we're also investing $100 million in an apprenticeship grants program. It will be a competition as well, targeted at providing support for apprenticeships in advanced manufacturing, IT, and healthcare. The administration's Advanced Manufacturing Partnership, as which I told you I co-chair, has also launched 2 apprenticeship efforts led by Dow, Alcoa, and Siemens. These companies are teaming up with community colleges in Northern California and Southern Texas to train welders to work with high-performance alloys and to train maintenance technicians. Just yesterday, AMP previewed what worked for these groups at their national conference right here at Big M. We will need employers like you to help replicate these models in the future so we can continue to spur job creation and grow our manufacturing capabilities. And today, I'm very pleased to announce a new initiative by our host, SME, in partnership with 3D Systems to help prepare students to compete in the 21st century. The MLab 21 initiative seeks to revolutionize the concept of high school shop classes. It connects manufacturers directly with schools and gives teachers the tools and resources needed to excite their students about a career in manufacturing. How does it work? SME and 3D Systems plan to put high-tech 3D printing kits along with inspiring curriculum and a robust online support community into schools across the country. They're focused on the first 200 schools in the SME Prime network, but that's just the beginning. This week at the Big M event, SME and 3D Systems are looking for partners. So I encourage you all to stop by the MLab 21 booth over the next couple of days and ask how you could get involved. On top of this effort, I hope you'll commit to creating or expanding apprenticeship programs like the ones that link classroom education with hands-on experience. As well, I encourage you and your peers to do more to develop and accept industry-recognized credentials and certificate programs. For America to compete in the 21st century, it is all of our responsibility to ensure that we have an educated, flexible, and dynamic workforce. So I want to close with one final request of you. We need your help to update the image of manufacturing. Today, too many parents, teachers, and guidance counselors still do not understand that 21st century advanced manufacturing is different from the manufacturing of 10, 15, 20 years ago. Too many young people still do not understand that a career in manufacturing can be a challenging, rewarding, and noble way to earn a good living. We must all do our part to change and challenge those perceptions. Yesterday, the Advanced Manufacturing Partnership announced a plan to meet that task through a national manufacturing image campaign. As part of that effort, I'd like to ask each of you to open your doors on October 4th as part of Manufacturing Day. Open your doors to a class or a grade or a school. The objective is to get as many young people, their teachers and their guidance counselors, and their parents through the doors of America's manufacturers so they can see for themselves what a career in manufacturing holds. Why are all of these efforts that I have outlined so important? Why must we embrace a comprehensive approach to ensuring a bright future for Made in America? The answer is simple. The renaissance in American manufacturing is underway, and we simply must do all we can to maximize and accelerate the trend, to ensure America's long-term prosperity. We have a window of opportunity right now to build on the hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs that you have added in recent years. We have a window of opportunity right now to prove to the world that the 21st century will be another Made in America century. We have a window of opportunity right now to help more American families benefit from good-paying manufacturing jobs that help ensure their economic security and our nation's global economic leadership. So to take advantage of this moment, we all need to work together. Government, businesses, universities, training institutions, local leaders, and most importantly, all of us in this room, to maintain America's global competitiveness. I thank you for all that you're doing to grow your businesses, create jobs, and thank you for having me here today.
Secretary Pritzker, on behalf of SME, thank you for your leadership with the White House Office of Manufacturing Policy, your leadership with the Department of Commerce, and your leadership with the Advanced Manufacturing Partnership. And most importantly, thanks for being here with us today in Detroit and with the Big M.